Hi, everybody. Welcome to the NoMo Survivor Series. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the No More Heroin Survivor Series. The No More Heroin Survivor Series is an original product of No More Heroin 501c3, and we showcase inspirational testimonies of people that have overcome seemingly insurmountable odds to have and live a life of purpose and destiny. These are real, candid discussions with real people with real life lived experience, those that are defying the odds today. And I'm going to ask you guys to please share this out. I hope you will enjoy this. So we're going to let the audience build with this song by King Cass, Work It Out. This is an anthem for, oh crap. 1 second. Let me get my technical difficulties out of the way. King Cass, Work It Out, y'all. Please share. Okay, here we go. Work it out.
I don't wanna go that way. I don't wanna fall down. I don't wanna feel no pain. I just wanna talk now. Whoa, talk to me and we work it out. Whoa, talk to me and we work it out. We blasting off on a mission out the matrix. I'm elevating high like I'm flying in a spaceship. I'm not gonna take it. I maintain the haters. I'm gonna go get it like I wanna be the greatest. Go get it for the hood now, fresh so clean, yeah, I'm looking so good now. Sing to the stage and I'm bumping the good sound. Suicide doors going up in the hood now. Yeah, I'm changing the game and I gotta maintain. And I'm bringing you the flames and I'm making my name. Put my pain in the game like I'm Tupac the Don and I'm finna make a change. I don't wanna waste your time. I don't wanna fight. So I gotta make what's right. Running through that open door. Whoa, talk to me and we work it out. Whoa. Talk to me and we work it out. I don't wanna go that way. I don't wanna fall down. I don't wanna feel no pain. I just wanna talk now. Whoa, talk to me and we work it out. Whoa, talk to me and we work it out. Hey,
Please share this out, everybody. Please let us know where you're watching from, what your clean dates are. What's up, Blair? Love you, brother. Love you, Renee. Thank you so much. No, Dana, you're right on time, baby girl. Hey, Rebecca. It's good to see you on here. Everyone, please take the time to share this out. Where are you watching from?
I don't wanna go that way. I don't wanna fall down. I don't wanna feel no pain. I just wanna talk. Whoa, talk to me and we work it out. Whoa, talk to me and we work it out. I don't wanna go that way. I don't wanna fall down. I don't wanna feel no pain. I just wanna talk. Whoa, talk to me and we work it out. Whoa, talk to me and we work it out.
My man's. Again, welcome everyone to the No More Heroin Survivor Series. I would like to introduce an amazing advocate for recovery, an amazing advocate for suicide awareness. He's very vigilant and active in his own community, in his home country of New Zealand. I'd like to introduce Hunter King Cass, aka King Cass. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you, Fano. Hello, kia ora. How is everybody going? Amazing to be here, my brother. Stuck here in isolation here in New Zealand.
Yeah, well, before we get into the situation in your country currently, can you tell us about the song we just played, "Work It Out"? What the meaning behind it is?
Well, like, hold up, my phone keeps, for some reason, there's a timing or something keeps going on it, but I'm just gonna have to stay alert with that. For me, "Work It Out," it's about sometimes we have to sit there, and there's always been given, like, especially in music, there's always been problems given. So people give a lot of problems in music, and there's kind of never a solution to it. And I kind of feel like when my music, I leave that solution within the music. So people people talk about hardship and struggles, but there's never kind of like a solution. And I feel like "Work It Out" it's kind of like, I don't want to go that way. I don't want to feel that pain. You know, I just want to talk now. So like, whoa, talk to me and we can work it out. And it was also like, you know, it's talking to my inner self, talking from my inner self, saying like it was a song to my inner self. And every song that I have and drop talks about my whole journey. And as you can hear in that, I talk a bit about the spaceship and flying in a rocket, and that's just all about my journey when I was in psychosis chasing spaceships, which we'll probably get more into. So
can you tilt your phone back where you when you sit forward, it cuts the top of your head off? There you go. Perfect. Thank you. So what is the situation with the coronavirus in New Zealand today? What does it look like?
It looks like level 4 here. We're at level 4, which is isolation. We're on a 4-week lockdown. I've just seen a few people's lives out there that are going to work, and they are getting stopped by the police. And the police are saying, "Where are you going?" And you kind of have to prove kind of where you're going. It looks like we're on lockdown for 4 weeks here in New Zealand. We'll be able to take a few little walks around to the, you know, with our isolation. We've just got me, my partner, and her, and then my daughter here. So we're just isolated for 4 weeks. And like I say, I get to really hone in and do some stuff like this, and really focus on writing some new music. I'm actually going to write a song called "Lockdown" and probably just talk about my experiences here, but try and keep it cool and still vibey as well.
Yes, that's perfect. I mean, take the opportunity to bond with your family and your daughter. Write some cool music. You know, jump on some lives and share a message of hope, because in these dark times we need, you know, these testimonies of people to inspire us, to let us know, for one, we're not alone, and the struggles we have can be overcome, and to keep someone out there fighting just one more day.
I know what you mean, brother. And for me, hope, you know, when you say the word hope, bro, hold on, pain ends, Fano, and also hold on and like help other people exist. So you can take it like 2 different ways. For me, it's like, if we hold on, the pain's going to end, and also help other people exist. Give them, enhance their mana by giving them like good positive affirmations. If you see someone doing something good, it may only be something good, but when you tell them and you point that good thing out, it actually enhances the mana, which can actually realign and help the brain like understand more from a response than a react. It's kind of it's a long-term process, but it's teaching us to be better humans, really, brother. Really, real talk.
Absolutely. It's, you know, it's about enjoying the process. You know, it's progress over perfection. You know, where I come from. You know, and it's about the journey and not the destination, right?
That's right. That's right.
So, can you take us for a walk down memory lane? You know, what was it like for you growing up?
So for me growing up, I was kind of brought into a whānau that was, I think we were already kind of like a bit dysfunctioned. My parents had my sister. She's only 37 now. I'm 33. Born and bred here in Christchurch. A few times I've moved in and out of here for about a year in Nelson and a year and a half or so when I went down to Dunedin after the first earthquakes here. So there's been a lot of traumatic events happen here in Christchurch that I've had to face. But anyway, growing up was I grew up in Sydenham, Christchurch, New Zealand, and yeah, bro, it was hard for me, bro. I had to try and fit in everywhere. I was that boy that was always kind of called out in scapegoat mode. If you kind of think like everybody would play up, and I'd be the boy that would get caught out throwing the paper at the teacher while everyone else had done it. I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age 6, my bro. So at the age 6, I was diagnosed with ADHD. Now that took me on kind of like a whole new turn. And well, to be honest, my mum said rewinding back from the age 2 overnight, I turned to some sort of devil child, and they couldn't work it out. And I used to flip out when we'd go do good things, and and things like that. And so yeah, I was diagnosed at the age 6 with Ritalin, and then that kind of was, again, it wasn't shunned, and it wasn't suppressed. It was kind of in an open thing. Everybody in school knew about it. Everybody in my sports teams knew about it. So it was kind of why I was ostracized and why I couldn't really fit in, because I was that Ritalin hyperactive kid that everyone was just like, oh, I don't want him on my team. Oh, I don't want to hang out with him. So yeah, it was kind of hard to fit in from a young boy. So yeah. But my family life was beautiful. Like, my dad bent over backwards for me to play ice hockey and things like that. No matter how much I'd nut out on the rink and things like that, Dad was still there at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning every Sunday to take me down for practice, and he was there every game and things like that. So my family did support me, and I did have unconditional love. So.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So with your behavior stemming from, like being bullied in school and feeling like an outcast, that took you on a path of being a rebel, so to speak. Would you say that is accurate?
Yeah, I think so, bro. Like, I'd even attack my own friends and things like that. And to this day, I still have problems with triggers from my past that, I still react to some of my friends thinking they don't like me and they're sneaky behind my back, or they don't want to support me. And really, it's not that. It's in my head from my past. And what it does, my whānau means family. My family, what it does is it re-triggers your brain and makes you feel something from your past. So you may be sitting here, and when you feel something, connect with it. It's actually just a past feeling, but that feeling creates the thought, and it brings back the visual and what actually happened back then, and we start to live it again. So things with relationships and insecurities, they can actually be brought forward from a past traumatic event, which actually isn't actually happening, but what's happening is it's making you feel like it's happening, because it's like entraps us back into that same trap and that same feeling of what it was like. Yeah,
you're reliving it again. You're putting it through it, putting yourself through it again and again and again.
And now that's where you can actually retrain your brain and learn to, when that comes in and you start to notice those things, you can actually redirect them and retransfer the energy to different things and change what it is and use it as fuel and use it as fire to use you to get you to keep moving and stay moving. And for me, that there is when you can retrain the brain to keep it in a place where you're keeping it mind, body, and soul. Now, we're not bloody perfect, man. We're only human. And if anyone out there says they got their shit together, well, you need to get your shit together, because no one's got their shit together. No one's got their shit together, man. We're all human and we all fuck up. And for me, man, like I said, I still have these insecurity doubts, and I still react, and I'm learning how to respond. And part of my study at the moment is learning all about that manaakitanga and creating safe spaces between people, and the te uluwā about creating a safe space between people when you're having these sorts of conversations. If we were having this conversation in a room, there could be some things that we didn't agree on, but we can have and create that space where acceptance is in place, because acceptance is what gives people humility. And generosity is not just giving something to somebody. Generosity is creating this. This is a generous thing for us to create a space for other people to learn the way we see things and perceive things in the world. And I'm only in a little nutshell place, Christchurch, but I feel like I've got knowledge for the world.
Absolutely. So when did you fall in love with music and decide you wanted to turn your poetry into music?
So just to go right back in the game, I loved Michael Jackson when I was a little boy, and I remember I've got this vision now of this my 9th birthday, and we're having this Michael Jackson dance off, and we're all in a circle, and we're just all dancing Michael Jackson moves. I think it's To Beat It and Thriller, and it's quite funny because Michael Jackson was the birth of pop, and kind of pop started with rap and things like that. So Eminem, definitely, man. If there was no Eminem, there'd be no King Cass. If there was no Eminem, there'd be half and none of us out here. You got to shout out to the man out there who put everything on the line. He took the slander. He's taken everything. And I mean, and I kind of relate a lot of my journey to Eminem about getting picked on, dissed, hated, and then I'm still waiting for that one producer to grab me and go boom, and that's what happened to Eminem. He just kept going and kept grinding no matter what anybody said. And then Dr. Dre just went, man, you know what? For all the people that hate this guy, I'm going to do something with him. And then they started hating on Dr. Dre. And I mean, it feels the same thing that's about to happen to me. I like to plant little thoughts in that. But for me, music, bro, to be honest, I used to rap and when I was a Christian. So, I mean, was a Christian. I still believe in, I'm still faithful and things like that. But when I was right into Christianity and going to youth groups and that, we used to go around in this group called DOC, which was Disciples of Christ. And we used to go into parties where everyone was drinking, my bro. And we'd go in not drinking and we'd have our lemonade and we were rapping. And I'd be rapping about God. And my best friend Ezra, he'd be singing. So he'd be singing about God and I'd be rapping. And we made those connections back in the day through music together, through worship. A lot of R&B, a lot of soul, a lot of reggae, just a lot of tastes of different music throughout my life. Now, I know I can ramble on, but my main one is that my father was an android. So here in New Zealand, he had a number 19 on the charts in the 70s, I think. Yeah, really? And it was called I Want to Be in Auckland Tonight. Now, that song got number 19, and I just said to my dad, bro, you get that 1 and that 9, it's a 10, you flip it around, you got a number 1. And I did, I got a number 1, but it was throughout a team. Taranaki Rats and me together, we ended up getting a number 1, and we're looking to do it again with the tribal nations to getting a number 1 on a song that I'm writing called Faith at the moment. So big things happening for me, and it's not, and I kind of learned that you don't need to focus on the hip hop scene and getting the acceptance of people that you don't need to worry about that. You just keep pushing through your music and see who accepts it and who it takes on. And I'd rather be standing in front of communities and telling my story and performing some of my music than going to the bars late at night and performing. Like, I'm looking to get into the big crowds. I want to come over to America and into Lock or somewhere. I've never even left this little place called New Zealand. So for me, bro, hip hop to me is a lifestyle. For me, it's help inspire people to help our people. Hip hop.
Absolutely. And you use your music to give your testimony. It's about your life experiences in a poetic form, put to music, that you use your music to spread a message of hope. And you want people to know that they're not alone and that any obstacle can be overcome, through your faith, through whatever means. And you're a walking testimony. You're a survivor. You're an overcomer. You do so much in your community. I've made a lot of friends in New Zealand that just absolutely love King Cass.
Thank you, my bro. I really appreciate that. Eh? And for me, that's like they're my whānau, they're my family, and I mean, for me, I've been doing this for 3 years now, which is about releasing music and having this movement growing. Since 2017 we were established, and the things that I've done already, man, I can't wait till the 6-year mark. Now, if anyone's watched The Secret, they always say your manifest and your law of attraction takes 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years to come. Well, I've had my 6-week one, I've had my 6-month one, and I'm waiting for the 6-year one now. So I'm just going to keep pushing. I've got so much music in the works, and the bro was just talking about my testimony and my music. I'm just going to go for a little plug here. Go check me out on Spotify. King Cass, The Awakening from Dark to Light is my album, and that's the album the bro's talking about. This talks about my whole story coming from a dark into the light. My first song's called I Got the Truth. My last song's called The Way Out. Kind of work it out. I found the truth within myself, and I did all the rest of the journey through the songs, and then I got the way out at the bottom. So go look it out. That's The Awakening, King Cass. You can also hear that on YouTube as well. Just type in King Cass, The Awakening, King Cass, Spotify. We're all about interlocking and connecting through the music, and I believe that music is the most powerfulest language out there compared to any language in the world. Music back in the day, people used to weave the music into the history. Like, you call yourself Higgy. Well, I want to weave my music into the bloody history like Tupac and Biggie. Yeah, no.
Yeah, good for you. So back to your journey through addiction. Can you describe your absolute bottom and all the circumstances surrounding it and how you pulled yourself out of it?
Sure, my brother. So I actually have a PowerPoint presentation that I deliver around New Zealand. You've seen my moves, bro. And I tell my story or I perform my music. And so normally I have a PowerPoint behind me and I've got a 45-minute presentation that involves role play, it involves rapping, it involves storytelling, and it's so powerful and connects. It's called the Awakening presentation. It's about overcoming adversity around meth-induced psychosis. So my bottoms of my bottoms and my bottoms was that I had meth-induced psychosis. Now we think it was for about 4 months. Now my journey was trying to chase spaceships. Now if you listen to that verse, we're blasting off in a spaceship out of here in the Matrix, It's talking about the Matrix and spaceships. So I'm still using some of my journey into the music because I have to express it somewhere so that it doesn't stay up in here and make me go crazy. I think that's what all us musicians do. But my bottom, it was that I was pretty much in a park and I challenged the moon and I did a haka to the moon, a moldy challenge. And I did a haka to the moon. And then I said pretty much as soon as I'd done this haka, in moldy, I turned around and said, "What do you want from me? Just give me the answers." And I pretty much dropped on my knees and I begged to the moon. And I know we know who I'm talking to. We were talking to the creator. The moon was in the image of the creator. Sure. "What do you want from me? Please just show me the pathway. And I promise if I fail, I'll get up and I'll try again. Please, please." And after that, I digged my head into the ground and I used to try and dig up the dirt and climb in, thinking I could climb into hell because I was trying to sell my soul to the devil, bro. Crazy things. 4 months of it. I got arrested by the military police. I got arrested by the army out at the Burnham Army camp. I went out there and told them that there were secret spaceships out there and I knew where they were and that I had the code on my hand tattooed.
Yep.
That could unlock them. And I was telling people that I could unlock the spaceships with this code, bro. And this is in psychosis, in my psychosis. And so my bottom, now that there was, I wish I could give you the whole presentation in 45 minutes with the slideshow, but hey, that's got to come around your world. But one day it's going to, I believe that my presentation is what the kids need. It's what the youth need to see. It's a full-on presentation. It's got role play, like how I showed you that bit there. It's got me doing the actual haka to the moon. It's got me rapping. It's got me on my journey trying to sell my soul to the devil. Now, 4 months of psychosis was what happened, family. So that night that I challenged the moon, I pretty much ended up going to this Higgy King makes you appear as if you're in a trance. Oh, you're in a trance, bro. I got you stunned, bro.
Just watching and listening.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's that whole journey. So that night that I did that haka to the moon and I said, "What do you want from me?" I tried to dig my way into the dirt. I says, "Right now to the devil, mate." And I was screaming, mate. I was in this park alone, obviously. "Let me in." And I was trying to dig my way into hell. And I said to him, "If you don't take me now, then I'm going to the light side." And that's when I looked up and says, What do you want from me? And I did a deal with the light, bro. I did a deal. I feel like I did this deal with the light, bro. And the light side is the work that I'm doing, being the lighthouse for the people that need the following, and they're following the lighthouse whenever they need it, And to me, the whole psychosis, I didn't banish that. I kept it, and it's my story now, and it's my platform, and it's who I am. And the reason I'm so passionate about it, and I'm Anti-P Ministry Worldwide Ambassador. I'm the music director for Anti-P Ministry. I'm actually going to get to show you guys a sneak peek song called Till Our Last Breath, and it's an Anti-P Ministry anthem, and I got to write it, and it hasn't even been...
Tell us what Anti-P is, for those in America that don't know.
Anti-methamphetamine. No, anti-methamphetamine, man. So when I was in meth-induced psychosis, that was methamphetamine. So I'd smoked too much meth and ended up in psychosis. And I was out there chasing spaceships, trying to unlock portals, you name it. I was doing it for 4 months long. But that one night that I challenged the moon and I tried to take my soul to the devil, plus all the other nights that I tried to do that, I also nearly jumped off the top of the gondola up here in Christchurch. I looked over and I seen the spaceship coming out of the water, bro. Honestly, I swear to God. And I looked at it and I said, if I jump over the edge, the spaceship will catch me on the platform and we'll fly away and we'll restart the world and save it.
So you almost jumped in a meth psychosis. You'd been up for days, maybe weeks. You were out of your mind. You were delusional. You were having hallucinations. You almost jumped off a cliff thinking a spaceship was going to catch you, right?
Well, I believe that the spaceship was coming out in the water and I was chasing this light. And it was, oh man, I had to tell you the whole story. It's so long, but there was so much that happened. I was chasing lights. I was chasing Yellow Brick Road out there. You know how there's those yellow signs along the road? I was chasing those, and then I'd see a yellow sign and a yellow daffodil, and I'd follow anything that was yellow, and that's what took me out to the Burnham Army camp. And that's when I started telling them that I could unlock the spaceships that they had hidden in the army camp with that code. And also I went down to the bloody docks, to where the bloody docks are, where down in Littleton Harbour, and told them that I had the golden ticket and that I could unlock the golden ticket to unlock the glass elevator that they had hidden there. And they were like, what the hell? And I said, well, this is where all the gold is. But what I started to realize was that I was learning things, bro, but I was in a psychosis and it wasn't time. And because I hadn't gone through school and I hadn't had anything like that experienced, I started to experience the world in a different way. And the thing was, is my brain was rewiring too, because at the age 28, your brain rewires. So for me, the whole thing was so crazy, my bro. And like that whole thing that I take you to that last night, bro, and this is what's so scary, is I've got to rewind back now, because when I was 10, I found my mum committing suicide twice and I saved her life. And that's why later in life, my mum saved my life, because whose house did I knock on at the end of that night after trying to dig my way into hell? I wanted my mummy. So something came over me, and I think after I challenged the moon and everything, I felt this connection with my mum being lost again. And it wasn't like the first time, because when I saved my mum's life twice from suicide, they were feelings of disconnection, and this time I felt like this new connection coming, and I had to find my mum. So I knocked on my mum's door, but I didn't actually get to walk there. I got taken there in a spaceship, but I believed that it was a spaceship, but it was a paddy wagon. It was a cop paddy. So what happened is I ended up walking, after I challenged the moon and all that, I ended up walking right, and I walked through this paddock, and I came into this park, and in the middle of this park, which now we call Garden City, our park, there was this function going on, and there were all these people wearing white suits and everything, and I thought I was in heaven. So I thought I'd gone in and gone to heaven, bro. So I was knocking on the door going, where's Jesus, and wanting to talk to the disciples, and bro, I was in fucking psychosis, bro. So anyway,
yeah, I'm in your mind.
That's when they rang the police, and the police turned up and says, are you all right, mate? And I said to them, I've just smoked a gram of meth and I've been up. I don't know, mate. I just told them everything, and they just dropped me off outside my mum's house. One side of the paddy wagon, my bike, and one side was me. And I thought it was a spaceship, because I was like, yeah, the aliens had come to pick me up. So I was happy as. And when I arrived at my mum's house, I got really shitty in the end. And that's when something happened to me again. And I was like, started to go back into psychosis, and I looked up at the hills, and I went, I need to go up the hills again. I've got to go find that spaceship that I nearly found that night before, the one that I was going to jump off again. But something led me into my mum's driveway. Otherwise, I was going to walk up to the hill again. So there was times where I was going to take my own life without knowing it. I was being led by the demon of crack, of methamphetamine. The demon inside me was leading me to take my own life, bro, because he didn't want me to do what I'm doing now, saving people's lives with my music. And so for me, bro, that night that I knocked on my mum's door, she opened the door, and it was quite hard, because 2 weeks prior I'd actually flipped out and had a methamphetamine outburst where I'd nutted out and smashed her gas heater up and threatened 4 of her mates that had helped her move in. So I still felt safe to go there, and the whole story is crazy, bro. When I turned up there, I had a pillowcase, and inside the pillowcase was a brass ship, brass bird, 2 crystal balls, and a brass plate, and I had them on my shoulder. And I turned up there, and I'd had them the whole day that I was out traveling doing my thing, because I thought I was a king. That's another thing, is I thought I was some sort of king as well. So that's where the king comes into my King Cass story as well. And so I turned up, and mum thought I'd robbed the house. But no, I didn't. I showed her that I had these emblems, and it was almost like I was surrendering everything. And I said, Mum, I need some help. And that was my way of saying it. And I laid all these items down on the ground, and she, like I said, she thought I'd robbed the house. And I said, no, I need to take these somewhere. And she says, you need some help. And that's when I said to her, is that the way out? And she says, if you want it to be. Now, that's on my album, The Way Out. So in the end, Mum took me up to the hospital, and the lady there was saying to me, what's going on? And I said to her, whoa, the spaceships are in the bloody room. And I was fucking gone, you know what I mean? And so in the end, the lady took me up to the mental hospital, at the proper mental hospital. But to get me there, this is what she said to me. She says, I know a place, and if you want to go there for a while, it'll help you. And I says to her, is that the way out? And she said, if you want it to be. And my mum remembers this exact vision, because mum had to follow us. I wasn't allowed to go in mum's car. And mum remembers us being in front and her behind me, And the whole way I was like looking back going, like waving at my mum to make sure she was there, like this little boy had come out of me. And for me, that whole journey of psychosis, it almost came to a halt. But no, it hadn't, because when we got to that mental hospital, bro, I don't mind calling it a mental hospital, and I'll own that shit because I've been there, and it's called a mental hospital for a reason, and I'll call it a mental institution. I'm not afraid, but it was called Hill Morton Hospital. And so I went to Hill Morton. And bro, when I got there, mum had already stopped and got me some cigarettes, because I said to her, I'm going to need some cigarettes in there. I'm going to need some lollies, some chips. I want some munchies. And, mummies look after us. I love my mummy. And we'll go into that story about saving her life after this. This is kind of like we're kind of time traveling in the story at the moment, where we're at a later date, but we're going to whip back into time and talk about another time soon, aren't we, my brother? So I'll finish up on this. So in the end, I got there and I looked at these doctors and they said to me, what's going on? I says to you, you've got this big golden light coming out your head and you're purple. And oh my God, where's the spaceships? I believed that. And I was still in psychosis. So they admitted me for 2 weeks, and I was happy to go. And I was very happy to go. And I was happy to be there for 2 weeks because it was the holiday that I needed. Now, in one of my songs, I say I was caught up in a wreck and all I needed was a holiday. Now, that's about putting it in my music too. You got to be real and share what you've done and what you've been through. So my holiday for me was a holiday in a mental institution. So anyway, bro, what was cool?
What you've been through.
And then for me, bro, that night, and I tell the story with passion. The reason I tell it with passion, it's not because it's a made-up story, and people have hit me up before and says, oh, your story's so made up, you don't even have any emotion. It's like, I've told it so much, and it's becoming passion, it's becoming knowledge, and it's becoming something that I can relate, and I want other people to fire off it. I don't want it to be all blurbly and not told properly. Man, after this, I've got to go write a song to heal myself, or I've got to go and do something to heal myself from ripping my wound open, whānau, and I'm just going to put that out there. This takes passion, and it takes pride to tell a story like this. I'm going into so much of my wounds and ripping them open for you, whānau, so I hope you can pay attention. Hope it's been shared out. I don't even know how much people are watching. I could be just talking to Higgy. but for me, so anyway, I said to the doctors, and they kind of said to my mum, I think I overheard them saying 2 weeks I was getting admitted in there for, and I was happy because I was safe. I knew that I was safe. Now, the thing for me was that I begged to have my studio in there. Can I please have my studio? Hey, what's up, everybody? Mana love to everybody. Sorry, I can't see all your things. Love yous all. I'm just telling my story and connecting. So for me, when I was in there, bro, it was that I was allowed to have my studio. Now, we weren't allowed to have any cords or anything in our room because of suicide and tendencies. So I bless Hill Morton Hospital. They let me have my studio in there, and that's where I bled into my music. So let's just go back a bit again. So that first night that I got there, when I got to the Hill Morton Hospital, I was outside. I was having a smoking away. I don't smoke anymore. I was sitting there smoking away, and I looked around, and I felt like I was in this like train station, and I believed that it was a train station, and I was like smoking away, and I was like, oh my God, I've made it. Like, I believe that because I kept thinking through my psychosis that I was trying to find a way out, like the Truman Show. Like, there was a hole in the wall and you could open it and go through and be like, everybody, it's a big movie. So I was trying to find that too. I was watching movies and getting looped, and I was listening to the radio, I was listening to music, and everything was talking to me. The signs, bloody canvases on the wall, you name it, and it still does to this day, but I take it the right way. When I see a sign or something give me a sign, I take my perception of it and put it into my movement. I don't get confused because I was looking for too much signs, but it's part of my journey is to be a sign looker, and I'm a life path 7, which means I seek knowledge and I seek truth. So I'm always on the lookout. But that night, so I'm smoking away, and I believed it was this train station. I looked up, and I seen this big orange button, and it was, a big pink button. And it's quite funny because on that big pink button was a big pink love heart and chalk around it. And I went, oh my God, this is too good to be true. I've just got to push love, hit that button. And I believed that when I hit that button, that the whole world was going to go suck up, and I was going to be one guy left to restart the whole world and repopulate it and turn it into a good place. Like, bro, that's what was going through my head. So I went up, bro, and pushed the button, and the whole place went off. And I think that was where,
the fact that you wanted.
And I think that night psychosis ended for me because I was so angry that the train didn't come, bro, because I was waiting for it. And I tell you right now, if a spaceship landed out my window now and was like, you know, I'd be the one that would be out there checking it out, bro, because I'm so inquisitive. And I mean, that journey to me was part of something, bro, and it's still part of me. And I still like to joke around and talk about the spaceship, and it's in my music a lot. And the journey of trying to get into portals and everything and unlocking codes and that, it's all through my music, man. It's all in my music. I talk about unlocking codes and finding ancient codes, and that's cool because it's my way of expressing who I am. And if I kind of have a feeling and if I feel like I'm a bit of an old soul and want to talk like I've been here before, I can put that into my music too and things like that. Like, I love being creative in a way that can give other people's perception. So when I make music to be perception, but I've got to create it from my perception, but then I'm creating it for other people's perceptions as well. So anyway, 2 weeks of having my music there, let's just say I bled my heart into that microphone and I pretty much listened to myself, and myself was telling myself to heal. And it was just things like, you can do this, you can get through this, you've been through this hard road, there's no more in the crossroads. And I'm just sort of telling you about what it was about, not the actual rhymes. But I wasn't writing, I was just freestyling into this. So I let my soul go, bro, and I just got angry into this microphone, and it was healing me. And then when I got out of there, 2 weeks later, the doctors said to me, so can you still see those big lights coming out of our head? And I was like, nah. But to be honest, I could still see them, bro. I could still see the glowing auras around these doctors. And I just said, no, I need to get out of here. I've got a mission to do, and I'm going to take these new gifts with me. And to this day, I don't see crazy lights or nothing, but I see my light, and I'm the light. I'm that lighthouse because that aura is me now. And I'm for other people can see that around me and can really connect to me. And I know people are connecting to the story right now and how much I'm giving. I know people are sitting there in awe, and what a way to be doing it while we're on lockdown and things like that. So, yeah, bro, that answered that question.
I'm looking at the comments. Sarah Jane McFall says his music is off the charts. It's really,
yeah. Thank you so much.
Dana says, right for you. People will interpret it how they want to, regardless. So you use your music. You use your music for expression to heal yourself, to make your message clear and concise. What other means of healing did you apply to your life on your journey?
So I did go and do some NA.
NA?
Yeah, and everybody has their own, we're allowed to have our own opinions, and it worked for me, but I ended up getting addicted to NA, and I fell into, not saying that NA put me in relapse, but I got addicted to it, and I started feeling like I was confined to it, and I felt that if I slipped up, I was wrong. But the thing is I wasn't wrong. I was just needed to reach out. So I relapsed twice, and I ended up back on the gear, and it was only for one time, and then later on another time. So when I had those relapses, it just taught me that I was just sick, and it made me feel sick inside, and I didn't like it anymore. And it was just telling me that I was in the darkness, and bad things were happening around me when I was walking back into those sorts of situations. And I even put myself in a situation where I tried to help a friend who was still in the situation that I was used to be in, and something bad happened to me. So it was teaching me that, man, I need to get out of this. It's trying to kill me. It's trying to fucking kill me. It literally wants to take me out. And I had to learn that game just wanted to take me out, literally, bro. And I'm still fighting today because it's so hard. Every day I've got to wake up and it's to carry those sorts of burdens of my trauma of what I've been through is not easy work every day to remember, to wake up and I remember all this and I come and tell people it and things like that. And I think a lot of people don't take the piss out of it and just think that we're trying to all out here just trying to be social media influencers and get clout, but it's not. We're literally trying to help people. We actually want our stories to connect, relate, but as the King Cass movement, we're trying to awaken your passion, your purpose, and your potentials as well by saying, hey, I'm an artist, I'm a hip-hop artist, I can also do graffiti, I can play basketball, I can do all this other stuff, but what can you do, and what do you love doing the most, and how can my inspiration help you put a little bit of extra fire underneath it so it can fire up and then turn it into how you want it, but use it for a good reason. We're out here as social media influencers.
Help you find your own talents and abilities and grow them.
that's our values, bro. So our values are to awaken the passion, the potential, and the purpose. But first off, we want to awaken the conversations to be able to have inspiring conversations. Now, right now, I'm inspiring your conversation. I'm learning from you. You're learning from me. Now, from this, something could probably happen after this lockdown, possibly. All it takes is for one. We've made the golden thread connect. Now we've just got to connect. So I believe that I meant to come over there and do some things with you, my bro. So
Well, come on over. So, real quick, what time is it, and what day?
right now, we're at 2:39
On Thursday.
p.m. on Thursday.
You're in the future, my man. It's only Wednesday here. It's kind of it's just wild to think of it. You're on the other side of the world. You've been through a lot of the same things I have. I struggled with a meth addiction for 8 years. It landed me in mental wards, detoxes, homeless, seeing imaginary things in psychoses, and seeing things that I just horrible things, and led me to horrible life situations and circumstances. And both of us, we made our way out of that, with most of our mental faculties, not all, but it's just what you're doing is inspiring. You're motivating, you're empowering people over there, and your focus is the youth mostly over there, and you speak, you perform, you speak, you're involved with other organizations.
The plaque. I was talking to my daughter. Carry on, bro.
Yeah. She's beautiful. She's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Yep. What have you
got?
So
what were you saying? What were you saying?
No, I just I was giving you props for the work you do in your community over there.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, bro. No, sorry, I was just getting my daughter to pass me something.
What do you do on a daily basis to address your trauma issues? I know that's part of your message.
Well, I've been just doing press-ups. So I do 25 press-ups a day, and I'm just going to keep doing them. It's becoming beneficial for my health. It's becoming beneficial for my physical health and my mental health, because not only am I just doing press-ups, but I'm actually putting the awareness out there by saying these press-ups are for suicide awareness. Now, there's people out there that are going to say, oh, look at you using this again for that and that. There's always going to be those type of people. So I'm just going to keep doing it, and I can't stop, won't stop. So check out my page. On this page here, every day I'm doing 25 press-ups. I'm up to my day 47 today. It all started from some people doing 25 for 25, and I've just thought I'm just going to carry it on and just do it every day. The only reason why is because it's helping me, and it's another way to get that message out there. And I've had people messaging me, and they're telling me, don't you stop. And these are people that can't even move. They're in wheelchairs, so they're getting something. And it's about reaching that one person, bro. Remember, it's only that one person there. You only need to reach that one person to feel like you've succeeded,
Absolutely. I appreciate you taking the time to jump on here. You wanted to perform a couple songs that haven't been released yet.
Yeah, well, what I was going to do is, we kind of got a bit of time. I didn't want to leave everybody wondering about that suicide awareness stuff of why my story is so passionate. So, again, if any of this is triggering, there's lots of people here that have wraparound services. Message me, Higgy, ourselves. This is my homepage, Hunter King Cass Wilson, or my music page, King Cass. I'm going to plug all my stuff in at the end of this. But again, King Cass, search King Cass everywhere. Google search King Cass. But yeah, Google search me. But the reason I'm so passionate about suicide awareness is that I found my mum committing suicide twice. Now, I have this all in my PowerPoint presentation as well, and I've reenact trying to find my mum. And pretty much I was at my nana's house with my dad, and I had to wake him up I kind of woke up crying, and I had this feeling that my mum was missing and I couldn't find her. So I told Dad, we've got to go find mum. And pretty much Dad wasn't waking up, so I had to shake him and wake him up. And he didn't believe me at first, like the boy that cries wolf, repeating his curse. So he picked me up, and we were speeding in first back to my childhood home where the silence had grown. But if we were 2 minutes late, well, I'll tell you the rest of the story. So in the end, when we got back home, my mum was reversed. We got past my childhood. In the end, I woke my dad up, and he did believe us. And sorry, I'm just going to sneeze. Giving you some corona. Bless me. So in the end, sorry, go back to, he didn't believe me at first. So when my dad woke up, I said to him, we need to go home. I just feel that something's wrong with mum. And he didn't believe me. I'll go back to bed. And I was beside myself screaming. Now, I do this in my role play as well. I reenact it. So in the end, he picked me up and we were speeding in first. And we were going back to my childhood home in the van. Now, when we got to my home, Dad just drove past the driveway. And when he drove past the driveway, he said to me, see, your mum's not even home. And I'm like, no, not this inquisitive boy. I believed my mum was there and we had to find her. So when my dad reversed up the driveway, because I was persistent, he believed me in the end. When we drove up the driveway, he hopped out the car and I hopped out the car and I could hear this noise. And I'm looking for this noise. And I'm like, where's this noise coming from? And I'm looking over the fence trying to find a sprinkler. Funny, dark, and real, right, family? And I'm looking over the fence and I'm trying to find this noise and I can hear this trying to find the sprinkler. And I turned around at the age 9 and I said to my dad, Dad, I think there's a sprinkler in the garage. And at the same time, he opens the garage door and says to me, run! And I remember looking back and seeing that my mum's car had pipes, everything, all the pipes were hooked up out of the car. And she was gassing herself. Oh. So I ran across the road to the old people's home, knocked on their door, and God bless their souls, Mr. and Mrs. Sharp, they're not here with us anymore. But they helped me. They rang the ambulance. The ambulance came and they got mum into the ambulance and we got up to the hospital. But it was quite ironic because when I was standing there with my dad, the ambulance people came up to me and they said, if you were 2 minutes late, your mum wouldn't be alive. And that's where it goes. He didn't believe me at first, like the boy that cries wolf, repeating his curse. So he picked me up and we were speeding in first back to my childhood home where the silence had grown. But if we were 2 minutes late, she would have died all alone. Go check that song out, Traumatic. It's on YouTube. And and for me, it was 2 weeks later after that I found her again because I was in my childhood home and I believed that she was in the bathroom and I believed something was missing and I couldn't find her. So I told the people in the lounge, woke them up and says, Mum's in the bathroom. And they were like, what? I'm like, Mum's in the bathroom. And sure enough, they kicked the door open and I looked around the door and she had all these pills and the bath was overflowing and all the pills were coming out. Oh. And I'm going to be reenacting some of that stuff in my music videos because it's healing.
Yes.
Be having bathtubs of water with pills flying over them just because it's going to help me and learn to re-heal for seeing it through visual because I'm a visualist. So those 2 times that I helped find my mum was later on in my life. I tried to take my life from relationship issues. I tried to drive a car into a brick wall. I've tried to hang myself and haven't succeeded because I've let go and things like that. I'm just being honest. And when I was in psychosis, I tried to jump off the gondola and I was trying to sell my soul to the devil. I was actually going to jump in front of trains. I was going to do so much stuff that I didn't do while I was in psychosis. And they were all suicidal things.
Yes.
So the drug meth wanted to kill me, my brother. It wanted to take me out. So I'm a suicide awareness fighter, survivor, advocate, and I'm not going to let anybody say it otherwise, that I'm actually here for the people and I'm here to spread a message. And my story is no one's story is better than anybody else's story. My story is your story. Your story is my story. Let's share. That's manakitanga, creating ako. I hope you've learned something and I hope you've got something from my story and actually feel that it's okay to share it. And no matter how crazy my story sounded, it can get crazier because when I've got a PowerPoint presentation going behind me and I'm acting all this out, whānau and family, this is such a powerful presentation. There's probably people watching this that have seen my presentation around New Zealand. It's coming worldwide, global. That was my bit about the suicide awareness. The bro's going to have a little yarn and I think we're going to show you a couple of sneak peek songs. I've got to play them. I'm hoping you guys can hear them. So we'll bring Higgs back in, man. I just wanted to talk about why I'm so passionate about suicide awareness.
That's an amazing testimony, and it's a testimony of turning pain into purpose. And
yes.
your willingness to be transparent is very inspiring. And that's what I like to do with this platform is give people the opportunity to share their testimonies, to inspire other people that have been through the similar situations, to give them the will to fight just one more day. If there's one person out there that gets this inspiration, that checks out your music and relates to what you're sharing about, it's all worthwhile.
And like, if the bro's just saying, checks out my music, it's easy. I've got it down there. It's King Cass. You can search that on all platforms. It all just pops up. There's YouTube, Spotify. Go check out my album. I've got about 5 singles. I've got a full album there on Spotify. My next album's on its way once we get out of this quarantine. I've got fucking 5 or 6 or 7 singles on the go. I've got 2 collabs. I've got a couple of big collabs coming from around America, one guy from America and a couple from New Zealand. Heaps of stuff coming, so tune in on my pages. I'm doing TikToks, which is KingCass03. For all your kids that want to tune in and watch my TikToks, I'm doing funny TikToks trying to make people laugh through this time of tragedy and through this time of being locked down. And my music's all there. I just want people to connect to me. And hey, there's my Mama Cass. Mama Cass, I just told the story about saving your life. I'm so blunt, hey, bro. Look, I'm just put her on the spot. My mum's a survivor. Let's clap, man. Let's clap my hands for all the survivors, man. Let's all clap our hands. Real talk, survivors, man. Like, we're survivors.
That's right.
And so the bro Higgies asked me to release 2 songs that actually aren't even released yet. I mean, he's asked me to do a couple of songs, and I've chosen to do 2 songs that are secret, because I believe when you get a platform given to you like this, that's when you release something that maybe someone needed to hear. So sometimes we harbor our music for too long, and someone maybe needed to hear the words and the message. So I'm going to play 2 songs for you today. Our first song is going to be called Till Our Last Breath. It's a song I wrote for the Anti-P ministry. This is what my daughter was getting me before. They gave me my own bloody plaque for it, man. Till Our Last Breath. So I'm the Anti-P ambassador. Go check us out, Anti-P Ministry. The song's called Till Our Last Breath. I'm just going to set us up over here and play it. And then after that, I'm going to play a song that I have yet to finish called The Edge. And it's about don't push me too far to the edge, because I might come out shining. So I'm just going to play the first song, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the song for a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll whip out, play The Edge, and then we'll wrap up. Are you cool with that, my bro?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, Fano, let's whip this around.
Oh, disconnected yourself. Hopefully he will. Yeah, I'm hooking my phone on the get him back on. Enjoy this video. Mama Cass, enjoy this. you hear this now? What's going on? Can you hear me now? Now you can hear me, right? Yeah, you guys can hear me. Just woke up, confusing all, and let loose and all. You all know, looking back at the me that I used to know. Yeah. Living in this life, don't take it for sure. There ain't no easy way out. When we're on top of the world, we all been living this life. We don't know till it's gone. There ain't no easy way out. When we're on top of the world, top of the world. Top of the world, there ain't no easy way out. The internet is really, really hinky with everybody on it, so I apologize. He's having trouble getting back in. New Zealand is beautiful, isn't it? Y'all been living this life, we don't know till it's gone. There ain't no easy way out when we're on top of the world. Top of the world, top of the world. There ain't no easy way out when we're on top of the world. Top of the world. Top of the world, there ain't no easy. Music is universal. And over to the smoke up. You were falling in love. See, I just woke up. See, I met her in the club. And over to the smoke up. You were falling in love. See, I just woke up. Okay. I'm going to find one more music video real quick. He's not able to get back on for whatever reason. The internet is really overloaded currently. This song here I played last. Oh, maybe he is coming back.
Are we back?
There you are. Yeah, you're back.
Oh.
I was just getting ready to play Fallen Memories for the.
I hit flip camera and it left. Something happened. I won't do that again. All right, so we'll play that song.
Okay, do that. I'm gonna put you on.
Sorry about that, guys.
Thanks for being persistent and jumping back on.
Can you say something if you can hear this? We're about to go.
Yeah. All you, bro. Do your thing.
The last breath, Anti-P Ministries, unreleased. And if you're feeling down, we gon' pick you up. Put NCP till that last breath. Feeling down, we gon' pick you up. Put any time of night, put any time of day, we back. And if you're feeling
pick you up on NTP till our last breath. Back in the day, I could never put the pipe down. I every day roaming the streets with the lights out. Looking for a dream in places I'd never find out. NTP ministry, we keep it shining like a lighthouse. It's time now, I gotta rearrange the cases. I flip the plot, I pick the lock, I put it back to basics. Sign now, so I gotta make a statement. We in this trust forever, going all across the nation. We spread a message going out to the people. Our flags are flying high at the top of the steeple. We going worldwide, we changing the seat. We're gonna do it for mankind, see we trying to make it equal. What's up? NEP till our very last breath. Keep on walking to the beat with our every last step. We got walking meat. We stomping the streets. We collaborating with people, so bring on what's next. What's up? We gon' pick you up at any time of night, at any time of day we have. And if you're feeling down, we gon' pick you up with NTP till our last breath. Feeling down, we gon' pick you up at any time of night, at any time of day we have. And if you're feeling down, we gon' pick you up. NTP till our last breath. Every day, I'll be standing on the front line, going worldwide. I'll be waiting for that one time. NEP ministry, yeah, we shine so bright. We like the rays in the morning, hitting streets with the sunlight. Feel the vibe, so put your hands in the air. This is real hip hop, so put your hands in the air. We keep moving it forward and keep on climbing these stairs. See, we beating our demons, we ain't hiding from fear. I pray for the people, with the same hand I hold the mic. A spiritual entity, you can call me the poltergeist. I ain't sold my life. Get ready and roll the dice. I'll be heading towards my future, looking for the golden prize. What's up? NEP till our very last breath. Keep on walking to the beat with our every last step. We got walking meat. We stomping the streets. We collaborating with people, so bring on what's next. What's up? We gon' pick you up at any time of night, at any time of day we have. And if you're feeling down, we gon' pick you up with NTP till our last breath. Feeling down, we gon' pick you up at any time of night, at any time of day we have. And if you're feeling down, we gon' pick you up with NTP till our last breath.
Yeah, till our last breath. Coming soon. We're looking to get funding from New Zealand on air with this and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Yes, it's a good song.
Yeah, brother. So yeah, that song was I was challenged to write that song actually by the NTP ministry. They messaged me and they says, bro, you want to be the ambassador of music, bro? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, bro, write a song. And within about a day, I had that song written, sent out to them. Next minute, it's in the studio. It's been recorded and it's just yet to be mastered and fully finished. And we're looking to get New Zealand on air on it for funding. So, yeah.
Beautiful. That's the NTP anthem, right?
That's the anthem, my homie. That's the anthem, G. That's it. So, should I play that one more? I'll play one more song, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so this song's called The Edge. Don't push me too close to the edge because I might come out shining. There's no rapping in this song whatsoever. It's coming on Spotify soon. Mind all the little ad-libs and the funny noises in the background. They're going to be taken out of the song. Like I say, it's just a rough copy. I just like showing off stuff when I feel it needs to be heard. This is called The Edge, spelled THAEDGE, The Edge. Again, there's no rapping in it. It's just a bit of my singing, and it's got a real cool vibe to it. So without further ado, this is The Edge, PPS production on the beat. Let's go, Simos the boss on the beat. My man, King Cass on the vocals. Looking to get the song and a music video done soon. So check it out, The Edge. Guitar trap, I love it. Good vibes, man. The Edge, The Edge. Hold on. There it is. Good vibe. It's like a nice guitar-y vibe.
Good.
Nah, it hasn't played it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Let's go.
They don't wanna see me rise, they don't wanna see me fall, they don't wanna see me shine, but I'm coming for it all. I got a message on my mind, on the hate I can't afford. Push me to the edge with my back against the wall. They don't wanna see me rise, they don't wanna see me fall, they don't wanna see me shine, but I'm coming for it all. I got that message on my mind, on the hate I can't afford. Wanna see me glow, but I be shining like a summer's day. But they never say it to my face. On the blessings gonna come my way, put it to the side. See, I always keep on running back. Whoa, like that. Get the ball to the front, you try to move me right back. Making moves, cross the ball, keep on pushing right back. Trying to open up the doors and they might to me back. Why you do me like that? Get a ball from the front, you try to move me right back. Keep on pushing right back. Open all the doors and never answer me back. Woo! With my back against the wall, they don't want to see me rise, they don't want to see me fall, they don't want to see me shine, but I'm coming for it all. I got that message on my mind, all the hate I can't afford. RBA.
Yeah.
Push me to the edge and I'm never gonna do again. Living on the edge, I was feeling like I lost my way. Caught up in the wreck, all I needed was a holiday. Now I found some goals and my nervous system needs some change. Ooh, now I'm playing on the road. Watch me drop another album, I'ma plug up on the show. Making those roads, I've been ticking out my goals. I've been chasing for my dreams, I can feel it getting close. Ooh, why you do me like that? Fall to the front, you try to pull me right back. Making moves, cross the ball, keep on pushing right back. Trying to open all the doors and never enter me back. Push me to the edge with my back against the wall. They don't want to see me rise, they don't want to see me fall. They don't want to see me shine, but I'm coming for it.
They want me to play Hush.
Yeah.
I might have to play one more, I think.
Yes, I was just going to suggest that. They want you to play Hush.
I'll talk about it first. This is finishing now.
They don't want to see me fall, but they gonna see me shine. But I'm coming for it all. I got that message on my mind, all the hate I can't afford.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. That's dope.
Oi, who said Hush? I bet it was my bloody mother.
Your mother and Sarah.
Honestly, I wrote the song for my daughter. It's called Hush, which is Help Us Seek Happiness. Now you understand why I chose Hush, because it's kind of like a bit of a mockingbird style of hook, Eminem style of hook, but it's my style, King Cass. It's called Hush, Help Us Seek Happiness. Now this song's wrote to my daughter. Now the reason I feel like I'm going to release this here, it's a rough copy, rough from the guest room. It's rough as, there's no mix or nothing done to it. It's so rough. But the thing is, someone might be able to relate to it at this time of need. Now, it's for me, it's taking ownership on some of the fuck-ups from me being a bit of a shit dad when I was on the meth and not being the actual supportive father I should have been. And then, as I say with my music, I give problem, but I give solution. So in the song, there's a lot of solution, and I'm also talking to her as if I wasn't here as well. So it's important that we leave a legacy behind. So this is my legacy to my daughter. It's called Hush. I can't believe they're asking me to do this. It's going to be coming out on all platforms soon.
Is this a song you can freestyle?
Freestyle? What does that mean?
Means just do it without music.
Nah, play the whole song. This is lucky. This is a pre-release.
Okay. Do you
pre-release. Here we go. This song's called Hush. I've actually recorded it in the studio, but it's only the rough copy. It's dedicated to my daughter. Check it out. Hush. It's pretty deep.
Turn it up.
Yeah. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Here we go. As much as I should be, but you're the diamonds in my eyes. I keep on looking for your dream. If I'm ever feeling tired, I'm feeling broken to my knees. I stare into your eyes, it's like I'm staring back at me. I reflect on myself, thinking of how I could have done it better. I reached in deep inside, I had to write myself a letter. I feel myself as well enough, I try to find the sentence, had to let go of the pain and go and ask myself the question of what's wrong? Well, what's wrong? Where we be walking hand in hand, and I don't want so strong, and I don't want to change this moment. I just want to hold on. You gotta listen to my music. You can hear me when I'm gone and I'm gone. So stay true to yourself. Keep on looking to your future. Keep on proving yourself. And you ain't gotta change for no one. Keep on being yourself. And if you're ever feeling lonely, keep on reaching for help. Hush. So keep on being yourself. And if you're ever feeling lonely, keep on reaching for help. So keep on being yourself. And if you're ever feeling lonely, keep on reaching for help. Hush. Baby, don't say a word. That is the fire you love me. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. That is the fire you love me. Let the bird don't sing. That is the fire you love me. The bird don't play. I know you miss me when I'm gone. I know you miss me now I'm here. So I stare into the clouds and the skies reappear. Well, every time you're closer, every time I feel you near, make me look into myself so I can show you that I care. I keep on beating myself up. I'm working through the changes, no more procrastination. I'm feeling elevated, keep on looking to the top so we can say we finally made it. You be listening to my songs and maybe playing on your. This ain't bar forever, this ain't bar forever. This is mine, you let her every time we cry together. Makes me wonder why I live my life so fly forever. Then we can look into the sky and pass time together when I'm gone. Heading on the right track. That we're yelling and we fight back. Daddy's gonna go and fly, you know, I'll be right back. I always remember her name, I got it tatted on my back and I'm gone. Don't say a word. Daddy to the fire, you baby, don't say a word. Daddy to the fire, you and the bird don't say. Daddy to the fire, you everything. And the bird don't play. Boom. That's Hush, Fano. Coming out soon. Beautiful. It's going to be the #1 hit, that one. No.
That's beautiful.
I didn't realize my daughter, I didn't know my daughter was going to all come up on me like that.
That's a beautiful sight to behold. Beautiful.
Never forget this memory.
I'm going to go back to my room.
All right, bye.
One more time.
Love you.
Thank you for being there. What's her name?
That was crazy.
Emily. That was her first performance on Facebook too, probably.
Nah, she's in that. She's in Fallen Memories music video, bro.
Is she?
Yeah. I haven't even. No one's heard. Not much people have heard that song, so I don't even know how many people were watching when they heard that one.
There's about 25.
Huh?
There were about 25 people watching at that time, which is good considering we lost.
Yeah, you lost me, eh?
There'll be a lot more people watching this replay. So
yeah, replay fun. I love and light to use.
So I sure appreciate you being here. It's always good to talk with you. You're doing great work over there. You have a very positive, inspirational message for everyone, whether it's United States or New Zealand, Australia, anywhere.
Thank you, bro.
You're welcome. Hopefully we'll see you over on this side of the pond sometime.
Yeah. You wanted me to rap? You wanted me to rap without the beat, eh?
Do you have one in mind?
Oh, I've always got something there.
Okay, let it go.
Get the lips wet. No, I'll put that there actually. It's a whiz, I'm on the road like a road runner. I spit cold, but I'm hot. That's a cold summer. I ain't got time, homie, because I'm cold-blooded. I'm feeling like YG, I keep it 400. Kicking with his choppers, yeah, I finna get a real. Y'all don't call me showstopper, yeah, I finna get a real. Kicking with his choppers and I'm ready for the deal. Now I'm heading to the top, now they all just want to chill. Like, now I get it alive. All these other MCs spit repetitive lies, but I'm seeing their signs and the negative vibes. I get them caught up in the setup when they look inside their mind. Gotta sit up on the side, the homies ready to ride for the game. Bring pride to the name, yeah, I slide through the pain and I slide through the pain. Yeah, I pull up in a spaceship, I fly into space. I got my demons unleashed. Homie, I'm saving our streets like take up, I'm playing for keeps and I murder, I beat and I rip and see city, you know where I be. Go, picture perfect, paint a perfect picture when I hit the surface like a purple swisher. Ain't no circle when I circle. What you said the only purpose is to get rich alive. Whoa.
That's fire. Great job.
Cheer, my brother.
All right, man. Thank you again. Please stay safe. Don't put yourself in harm's way. We're all going to make it through this. Just shout out to NTP Ministries, United States.
Yeah, till that last breath, man.
You got a lot of anti-P people on here in this feed, giving you shouts outs and stuff. So thank you once again.
Man, love you all, man.
For being here.
Just wanted to send a little last part, the little message of hope.
Do that.
Just want to say to everybody, thank you for coming in and watching. And again, if any of this was triggering, if any of this sparked any of your emotions and you needed someone to talk to, my fingers up, my hands up if you can see it. I want you to come connect. Feel free to share your story. King Cass Movement, go search it. We're a private group chat there for people to come and connect and tell their story. Otherwise, go and search King Cass right now on all platforms. Connect in with us. Stay alerted. There's TikToks. We're having a good time for the next 4 weeks. We're in New Zealand. We're locked down for 4 weeks in my house doing some funny, crazy things. And also, once we finish this lockdown, I'll be back out in those communities, working that front line like the motherfucker I am, going hard at it. I'm doing it for the world. Stay global, stay real, stay kind, and stay like you just want to love each other, because when you share the message of love, it can reenact the spiral of love, and we're all about the spiral of love. So stay real.
Amen to that. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for interacting in the comments, showing love to each other. That's huge. Please check out King Cass YouTube, King Cass on Facebook, King Cass on TikTok, and we'll be seeing you soon, everybody. Much love. Peace out.